because most places don't got that diversity.
They don't.
You know what I mean? So,
What are the pros and cons of having that music?
um, I don't really see no cons to be honest with you. But as far as pros, I guess depending on where you from, what you got going on, and depending on the type of music you listening to, sometimes you relate with similarities.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, this person is from way over there
Relatable.
that lived a different era. You know what I'm saying some shit that's still relevant to what's going on right now.
Who do you still listen to that does that for you?
Um, well, this person is from America, but Marvin Gaye.
Hey,
Marvin Gaye.
what my thing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it right there,
Yeah,
Marvin
yeah,
Gaye.
yeah.
Yeah,
Read
and
that.
actually, one of his one of my favorite songs by him is actually Inner City Blues.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because that song, it's crazy how relevant that song is right now.
So with that being said, with how relevant it is, does history repeat itself?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Most
that question
definitely.
came out the blue. The way you just
Most
said that
definitely.
is relevant. So does history repeat itself?
It most definitely it repeat itself.
Absolutely. When growing up in the inner cities, what does it take to survive in a place like that?
Um, it's that's a question with a big umbrella because every inner city is different in its own way, and all depending on what you involved in, you
Mm.
need different tools.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So it all depends on what's going on. And the thing about the inner city, landmass is such a small place, but it's so big with the amount of people that's there. So it's so much that can be got into, if that makes sense.
that makes a lot of sense.
You know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense. What strengths are being built from the inner city?
Strengths?
Yeah, what strengths have been built in you from being in the inner city?
You said strengths or strength?
No,
Like,
strength. Sorry, my
oh,
English is torn apart a
no,
little
no,
bit.
no, that's all right. That's all right, man. Trust me, a portion of it probably me right now.
Hey.
But the strengths
Yeah.
from the inner city.
My number one is resilience. It builds
Oh,
resilience.
for sure, because it's a situation where it's really gonna, make or break you. You know, because a lot of people from the inner city, especially from my side of town, a lot of people don't have quote unquote a safety net. You know what I mean? So failure to them is equivalent to death.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
expand on that.
Um,
I haven't heard that one in a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's equivalent to death because a lot of people we are we already, especially our generation. Our generation is unique, and what people fail to realize. Going back to what you said with history, what people fail to realize, a majority of the people from our generation are crack babies.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like you dealing with a generation of people that was born with an addiction. You know what I'm saying? It's they was already born with something they can't control.
Born with generational trauma,
All
and
that,
then born from the drugs,
all
crack
that,
babies,
all
the
that.
crack era.
We was born in a unique era.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? From and he's documented proof. From mid '80s to mid '90s, that was a crucial time.
That was a crucial, very
That was a
crucial.
crucial time, and that was a time that was targeted specifically for inner cities.
There's so many of us, when I say us, I mean people of the inner city community that are either locked up, dead, and without fathers that people don't
Yeah,
recognize.
yeah. I mean that what I'm saying, that's a whole nother thing too because everybody got a different situation. Like what I'm saying, I got people what I'm saying that I know that don't have their fathers because of death. You know what I'm saying? Because their father's not here no more. You know what I'm saying? And I got some people fathers that's just not here. You know what I'm saying? Living in the same city, probably the same zip code. And it's a different it's a different upbringing. Like I had somebody tell me before. They told me that the best education you can get is from the streets.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because you can go to school to learn all this other shit. You know what I'm saying, to survive in that world. But in this world, you can't. It's no school for it. You know, you can't sign up for it. You know, experience is your teacher 9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10.
And if you fail, a lot of times when you fail, you end up in them places like prison. Like I know some guys that's in prison that's doing some crazy ass numbers. That's doing some crazy numbers more time than they lived. And it's not that they even bad guys. It's just, you know, the products of their environment.
Products of their environment. What does that mindset build for them? From what you've seen, you haven't succumbed to it at all. You're here. You're alive. You're living well, and you're thriving.
Yeah.
And you're moving on. What is that mindset like? If you've ever been stuck in a place for that long, or seeing the route they took and why they took it in any type of way, what's the mindset?
I mean, a lot of times, you know, I do see why they did it. You know what I mean? People that's not from the inner city probably can't see. They probably be like, oh, why this person just didn't go get a job, or, you know, or why they didn't go do this or do that. But what they don't know is that being from the inner city and being from destitution, it's a lot of obstacles and adversities that come with being from that place that hinder you from, you know, being able to obtain those certain things. And a lot of times people do what they do because of, you know, a lack of options.
And that's all they know.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Yeah. A lot of times people grow up doing shit because they think it's right. It's not because, you know, motherfuckers just want to be out there and be menace. That's their way. That's what they been seeing. Because
it was built on.
You know, people say that it take a village to raise a child, which it does. I agree with that 100%. But you know what I'm saying? Some of these villages is filled with career felons. You know what I'm saying? Some of these villages ain't got scholars. They don't got neighbors that work at you know, these high-end corporations, or that's plugged in at places that can be like, all right, man, let me talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or let me point you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? We come from a generation of career criminals, and it's not, you know, people wake up and be like, oh, you know, I want to be a criminal today.
Yeah.
It's because of the environment that we in that makes these people criminals.
That's wild. There's a lot of pros and cons to the inner city, and I remember one of the biggest cons for me is the lack of knowledge. We didn't know. Like you said, that's all we knew. We thought it was right. We didn't know it was wrong. And we're probably going with the flow of what we see. Even down to the point, I remember I didn't know what a job application was. Filling out a resume. How you do that?
Nah,
man, that looked like a whole new language.
Man, it's a lot of things, man, and to be honest with you, that's why I'm thankful for a lot of the people that's in my life right now, because they held on to me when they ain't had no reason to. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people that had to tell me, they're like, nah, T, bro, you ain't supposed to be doing that shit, bro. Like, yeah, like, you ain't supposed to be doing that shit, dog. Like, I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I don't.
What fears can the inner city build?
A lot.
How so?
A lot of fears. A lot of fears. You know, you got to think about it. Like a lot of the people that ride through or work in the inner cities, most of the time they don't live in the inner city. They're from these outside towns, and especially from outside of town. You know, a lot of people only ride through if they ride through.
Oh,
if they ride through. And that all, you know what I'm saying? And it's all at a certain time. And when they do ride through, they see so much in that little bit of time of riding through, and they like, oh, man. Like, oh, my God. Like, goddamn. Glad I don't live here. You know, I'm thankful for my job. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that motivates them to be in that rat race. And you gotta look at it on a deeper scale. You know what I'm saying? They that thankful just by riding through. What about the people that live there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it ain't houses, you know what I'm saying, behind that homeless person right there on the ground. Yeah, like it's not schools.
So does being inner city in some ways does it leave some people handicapped?
It can.
Yeah.
It can, because it's not hard to fail. And failing, you know what I'm saying, in that place is it could be detrimental. You know what I'm saying, all depending on what you're involved in, all depending on what you're into, because you got to think about it. All right, let's put in perspective.
All right.
A place like, say, Lake Nona,
Yeah.
and a place like Pine Hills.
Dang. Night and day.
Exactly.
Night and
Same
day.
city.
Night and day.
Same city.
Night and day. Pine Hills liquor stores on every corner.